cages. He's been in the construction field for a long time. He's good at what he does. He's a targeted individual. We all know how to, communicate and bond with target individuals because we all are one. And if you ever have construction work or want anything to shield you with, need it bolted to the wall or need help, this is the man. This is Mark, and he is in Orange County, California.
Yeah, Fountain Valley.
Fountain Valley. All right.
How you doing? My name is Mark Camus. Basically, I'm 10 years game stocking, 8 years V2K, and for the most part, what's going on is there's an above top secret PSYOP and psychotronic elite. Okay, so I'd say PSYOP because it's an information war as well as an electronic and directed energy and psychotronic freaking war against the population. What they're doing is they're hijacking the democracy from behind the scenes. What they did after 9/11, they took Homeland Security, they put them in possession and control of a top secret surveillance system. You watch TV, they watch you. It's the same principle as a touchscreen. It's all static, right? When you touch a screen on a touchscreen, it measures your capacity. It's the same thing. That's why a lot of you, I don't know, I've talked to a couple of you, a lot of you when you first begin targeting, you'll notice that you have a high static charge. You'll be getting out of a car and what the hell? Zap. You're zapping. What they're doing is they're setting you up to be receptive to the technology by modifying your electrolytes and hitting you with a static charge, which then makes you conductive. All right? So that's like he said, you had a calcite.
Right,
yeah,
calcium.
Yeah. Yeah, that was the only thing that showed up. And it makes you more receptive to the ion beams from satellite. What they're doing is they're taking a diverse swath of the population from all demographics. That's why people say, why me? I'm nobody. They're taking a diverse swath population and they subjecting them to the extremes of what these technologies and policies are capable of so they can control the population. And Homeland Security's approach to report, they've been in possession and control of the top secret surveillance, right? Where, like I said, they can set your wall up where it's transmagnetic fields. They can pulse in a negative field here and positive there. And as that field goes across, your image can be freaking pulled off the wall. Because you're standing in the way of the two. You know what I mean? Negative and positive. They put them in possession control of the top secret surveillance system and recruited them to reform the criminal justice system. That's why there's so many perps. You're like, these people have endless resources. You know what I mean? The amount of money and time. And what the above top secret people do is they'll inject fraudulent video and audio into Homeland Security surveillance. You can be labeled a political dissident, a potential terrorist, a loose cannon, freaking anything, right? And Homeland Security's approach to reforming the criminal justice system is modifying your endocrine system, your hormones, right? It's like if you're modified violent, oh, this guy has too much testosterone. So they're going to come after you and they're going to try and modify a behavior problem you're being framed with. It doesn't exist. Well, they'll come in your house and freaking poison you. That's why a lot of people, they'll recruit people at Denny's and all, like I said, a lot of people in the restaurants, they'll go and they'll show them video. Listen, this guy's listening. And they'll go, oh my God, we'll help you out. This guy's a freaking cowbuster. This guy's what? Oh, shit. He's what? He's a terrorist. You know, we'll help you out. So that's how they get all these people to go along with the program. And also they'll use gaslighting or gang stalking to intimidate you. To also to try and manipulate your behavior, and so they can, like I said, their whole goal is to freaking reform the criminal justice system. And a lot of people are getting thrown in the dragnet that aren't criminals; they're just freaking being fraudulently labeled. And the above top secret people will use most direct energy weapons or Homeland Security using directed energy weapons to modify your biochemistry. That's where synthetic biology comes in. Okay? And they'll basically, like I said, they'll control the static charge. And a lot of people who take drugs, drugs are basically freaking, drug is the study of energy. They'll set you up to be more receptive to certain technologies, direct energy weapons. So you have to be careful on taking the drugs because like a lot of people who take what's the sleeping one? No, it starts with A. Ambien, yeah. A lot of people take Ambien. It puts them in a mode to where they're more receptive to technology. That's why a lot of them have this sleepwalking, mysterious sleepwalking, you know what I mean? Like they're robot.
Europe does that. They will try to deliberately, if they're trying to control you, get you on.
Oh yeah, because just like, you know what, and it all started back in the early '60s. MK Ultra, which was the genesis for this technology developed. Everything, if you notice, everything in the early '60s and before was centered around electroshock therapy. Everything was electricity. Dr. Ewan Cameron from MK Ultra, right? He was I don't know if any of you are familiar with him, but anyways, he was a psychiatrist up in Canada, right, at the McGill University. He raised a woman went to his where he worked at the university, the psychiatric ward, complained of postpartum depression. Right, she was like 20 years old. All she had was postpartum depression, and the CIA was funding these experiments. She took and used her as a guinea pig and lab rat, and this is all documented online. Put her in a comatose state using drugs, barbiturates, and then subjected her to daily electroshock therapy for like 28 days. Erased her memory to the point where she couldn't remember how to go to the bathroom. And she was just an innocent person. It's all documented. It's online. And Dr. Ewan Cameron is called the memory thing. And that's basically what I'm talking about. A lot of the drugs and the chemistry goes in line because chemistry is a study of energy, just like your. It's good to keep your electrolytes up high because your pH balance is key to making whether you're more receptive to the ions you charge it. You know what I'm saying? So electrolytes, calcium, potassium, like Gatorade. You know what I mean? There's a lot of fruits, strawberries, mangoes, kiwis, keeping your electrolytes up high because it'll make you less receptive to direct energy.
Which type of electrolytes? I know salt is electrolyte.
Salt, no, you don't really want to get into salt, because salt can take the place of potassium.
Okay, so how about chlorcon, which is a potassium that it reduces water retention.
Yeah. A lot of it's just to stick with the natural stuff because you know what? A lot of your drugs, that's another Homeland Security, and I know this from experience. They will go in your house. They have carte blanche to go in your house and freaking. They have identical looking vitamins, right? They'll change your vitamins out. If it's something you take and you take alone, whether it's your drugs or a prescription you're on, vitamins and only you take them and your family does it, or you know what I mean? They'll switch them out with identical looking vitamins that are tainted with freaking certain chemicals and stuff that are going to freaking mess with you, that are going to make you more receptive to direct energy weapons. I got to wrap it up.
What's the best things for the high electrolytes, did you say?
Yeah, keep your electrolytes high.
Fruits.
Mango, kiwis, milk has a lot. I try to stay away from bovine growth hormone milk.
Milk?
Both BGH milk, yeah. That's why.
What if it says it's free from RBST?
Then that's fine, yeah.
So trying to understand your technique, what you're saying is by keeping the body's electrolytes in balance. In other words, meeting the minimum requirements, that the body's energy field will be at its optimum state. You're emphasizing the electrolytes to boost the body's energy field, and then you use the body's energy field to defend yourself.
You basically do it. You want to stay away from being sick.
Okay. Yeah. I think I understand that. And then you can use that energy to make a bubble around you, for example, and then shield yourself.
It's just like the positive and negative on a battery. Okay. If you're freaking negatively charged, you're going to be more receptive to a positive beam. It's ion beams. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of also, as far as surveillance goes and stuff, your best thing to do to combat surveillance and a lot of stuff that Homeland Security is using direct energy weapons within your house is when you go to sleep at night, just turn off the whole circuit breaker to your room. Run your alarm clock on an extension cord because they basically turn your whole house into a capacitor. Look it up too. Every freaking building material in your house, wood, the drywall, the paper, everything is the same materials used in the construction of a capacitor. So they can basically control the static charge. You'll notice if your house has been set up, like on windy days, you used to always get a static charge. You walk around for a couple days, but it won't happen anymore. You won't have any static because your static charge in your house is being controlled.
I see that phenomena, but it's usually only when they have anti-gravitic craft or ionic craft in the air.
Galvanic? Electromagnetic.
If they have any kind of a craft around you, then it'll create a staticky charge.
Yeah, well, yeah, you'll know that your vehicle too. Your vehicle will be set up the same way. If you start, a lot of
static.
In the beginning of it, when they're first set up, like calcite, they'll set up mineral deposits within your own system, like he had in his brain. That now it's like an antenna or receptor. When they're first setting that up, they'll control your diet and subject you to static charges. So a lot of you'll notice you get out of your car, you walk around, you're the only one being charged everywhere. That's in the beginning stages of it. So what they're doing, they're setting up it's synthetic biology. They're setting you up to be receptive to directed energy weapons.
I want you to talk about. You remember how you explained to me the chemicals they're putting on me? Remember you were saying that, and I was saying that I could feel the dew like on my skin.
Oh yeah, you know what?
That's what I want, because there's some people.
Well, you know, a lot of that is freaking that they're controlling your biochemistry.
Well, this is actually I can feel the walls. The walls are wet. Remember we talked about this before you went to Idaho, and you told me it was 3 elements that you thought that it might be.
No, I don't remember that.
Okay.
We'll talk about that. We'll talk about next time. Yeah, so that's basically the whole breakdown system, and they're the whole freaking thing. And that's why going to the police fusion centers, Homeland Security fusion centers, are now compiling massive databases. Look at Jesse Ventura's conspiracy theory, right? They're compiling massive database on everybody, from your rewards cards, from what you need at the store. That's why everyone has the reward card system, because of the database. Insurance claims you've made, criminal records in it. Okay, so all the above top secret people do are the puppet masters. All they have to do is inject fraudulent video and audio in Homeland Security surveillance, and now you're labeled, and that information is put in the fusion center. You're charged for active sentence without ever one word from someone.
Yeah, they used to do stuff with Baskin Robbins for that 18-year or younger thing. They get people to get into the draft in the Army by using that.
It's all data.
That word fusion, what kind of
Holocaust? Yeah.
Do I think it's a ramp up to the Holocaust? You know what? I think that if too many people become aware, I think that may be implemented. You get what I'm saying? Right now, they're trying to freaking give the illusion of democracy, but they're hijacking from behind the scenes. And the reason everyone says, why me? I can tell you why you. They're taking a diverse swath of the population. In other words, married, single, freaking straight, gay, you know what I mean? Bilingual, all race, different races, everything, and different ages, from all different personality types to all different situations. And they're subjecting these people to the extremes of the technologies and the campaigns and policies that can be implemented with these technologies to see how they can manipulate, control, and destroy that individual that person's life.
Is it part of that WorldCom simulation where they're just doing all kinds of scenarios?
Using stochastic component modeling agents and artificial intelligence. I wish I would brought the article. You have the Pentagon Real Life Matrix from Wired.com.
I wish I would have Wired magazine is great. I did bring something, and I'd be glad to share it if I give testimony, or you can see me afterward.
I'll bring it next. Yeah, it perfectly describes perfectly describes basically the whole breakdown of the whole system, what's going on. Okay. And Homeland Security, like a lot of police. That's why it's senseless to go to the police. The best thing to do if you want to catch them, Homeland Security first of all is freaking their surveillance system. If you want to catch people going to your house, shut down your whole circuit breaker in your house and place a hidden recorder. Do not place the recorder without shutting down your circuit breaker. Then place a hidden recorder, because Homeland Security won't, and leave it off for probably about 5-10 minutes. Place a hidden media recorder, then freaking leave whatever, and then check it when you come back. Use a voice activated recorder or something.
Just getting off the grid or getting away from electrical currents doesn't seem like that would be effective.
What that will do, that'll break you free from Homeland Security's directed energy weapons. And that aspect of it. It won't break you free from the satellite, the above top secret satellite like B2K and all that. No, it won't break you free from that. But it'll freaking break you free from a lot of the directed energy weapons. People
like in other words,
like pricks, you know what I mean? Like you feel, yeah.
How about
the elements.
When I go by my refrigerator, I can feel it. They like redirect the electric to me.
Yeah, yeah.
I can hear them when they turn it on and off.
A 15-watt fluorescent bulb.
Anthony,
I can take a 15-watt fluorescent bulb when I'm in the house I'm in, and when the electricity's on, I can hold one end of it. It's the small ones like the desk lamp. Hold one end of it and just wave it above my leg without even touching my leg at night, and it'll flash on and off. Because the pulse, you turn the electricity off, that's no longer there.
Really?
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's because they basically turn your house. A capacitor discharges electricity. They'll build a charge on one wall, like I said, positive here, negative there, and freaking boom, and it'll flash. It'll pull across the negative field, and it's a continuous pulse back and forth. Positive, negative, positive, negative. That's what AC electric.
What does it do to your body physically?
Well, there's a whole host of systems.
Yeah.
You can have a lot of it, like your endocrine system, hormone stuff. So you have your thyroid. That's your thyroid, your pituitary, your adrenal glands, your genitalia. You can experience all kinds of freaking different. Your thyroid will hurt. Your genitalia manipulation, or you know what I mean. Stuff like that.
Mine is this big.
Yeah. It's all kinds of stuff like that.
They make it the size of a raisin, you know. But when you are, I got low T. My doctor gave me some drugs. Wanted to live a long, prosperous life, and it's on a round bottle. But I gotta find a volunteer for this.
Yeah, and you know what that is? That right there, that mostly is a side effect of Homeland Security coming after you they'll come in your house and, like I said, switch out your vitamins, they'll spray shit on your clothes, they'll spray shit like on your underwear and all that stuff, it'll be absorbed through your skin to modify your endocrine system. Because their approach to reform the criminal justice system is, these people have a chemical imbalance, and they're conditioned to believe chemical imbalance. So we need to modify their chemistry. So they're going to freaking come in and do whatever they can to modify your chemistry.
Yeah.
From your, like I said, and your chemistry basically relies on all your glands, your thyroid, your testicles, your pituitary. What's the other ones? Your adrenal glands, your adenoids, your adrenal. Yeah. So if you start noticing like pains and stuff like that, or pains in your neck, it's because and a lot of that is synthetic biology, which is receptive to the static charge in your house. That's what I was talking about. And that's Homeland Security right there. You can't. The satellite, as far as V2K goes, you can't shut that off. Yeah.
What are the long-term side effects of the V2K satellite?
The V2K. A lot of people have floaters. You'll have a visual. The best thing with V2K, I've had 7 years. V2K don't even bother you. It's an automated system. You can tell because it's so repetitious. It's a advanced form of artificial intelligence. They don't have the manpower and the people, and you'll notice that it's the same people. That you'll have like 2 or 3 people repairing a unit, and it's always 24/7. These people cannot be sitting there 24/7 in front of us.
It's almost like a recorder.
Yeah. It's too repetitious. It's like a report.
No, I have this like a
but no, don't get me wrong. Actual people can log on to the system. Actual people can log on to the system.
They go in shifts. It's like about 4 people at all times, and they take shifts on you. Like the one will sleep while the other 3 work on you. They first start off with phrases that don't make sense. Yeah. They bombard you with these phrases. They make comments every time you have a thought. They make a comment on and give it a phrase. So
it's a biofeedback. I know. It's
do that.
It's a brainwave interface. I know. It's
trying to make you go crazy.
The best thing to do is completely ignore it. Because you know what? All it's trying to do is the people are a lot of times, like I said, automated, and they're subjecting you to freaking continual freaking harassment. And every time you feed into it, it freaking records a response of how you fed into it. So therefore, the more you feed into it, the more it knows how you respond to this stimuli or this freaking phrase or this or that. So the best thing to do is look at it like a parrot with threat syndrome on your shoulder. Ignore it. Do not communicate with it. You can't read. There's no sense of reasoning with them.
I communicate with them.
Yeah, but there's no sense to it.
I know who they are.
I know, but you get what I'm saying. You're wasting your time. You're wasting your time to do that.
But I just want to stop. I'm going to stop them. You know?
Oh, I know, but you get what I'm saying, though.
But if you ignore them, they're going to destroy your property. You know, they destroy my car, like other media heads.
That's
they
where
broke my windows.
That's what you got.
They got pissed off.
Oh, my tools got stolen, switched out on set. That's what I'm talking about. What you have to do. Worry about that. With that part of it, that you can control. But what you have to do is you have to get credible evidence. In order to get credible evidence, you have to shut down the surveillance system. Shut down the surveillance system and freaking, because what Homeland Security is they're feeding Homeland Security fraudulent information about you. So Homeland Security is most of the ones doing the gang stalking and the damage to you. Okay, and then what they're doing, so they'll come after you like a pack of wolves. They'll call it staging or street theater. They'll do all this shit, and it's because you've been fraudulently labeled for whatever, a whole host of different reasons. What you have to do to catch Homeland Security and freaking get proof of that, you have to disable their surveillance system and then place a media recording. And in order to do that, the only way to disable that surveillance system is disconnect your car battery completely. Let it sit for its car battery. They can still hold a charge like a cell phone. They have charge in it. Let it sit for probably 10 hours, or touch the positive and negative together. Once you disconnect them off the battery, so that'll ground out. Then place a media recorder. Otherwise, they're going to know it's there and they'll just subvert it.
These guys have this. They interfere my phone.
Oh yeah, they control
my electronic.
So they control it.
I have recordings here that they're with me 24/7. But I got a recorded voices here of these guys. And one day, one morning, 5 o'clock in the morning, the guy got up with his children because this guy had like some bells, right? And they thought was that. And they got up and they told the children to yellow Senate something, you know?
Yeah.
So they go, chica tu madre, and I started recording in my son is sleeping there. I'm
recording it.
I'm recording it, right? The CD plays, right? And I play it back, and you can hear it very clearly. But the thing now is that they own my phone. They don't want to meet the.
Oh, you can hear them clearly. That's another.
You can hear it as clear as we talking right now.
That's another.
Some folks is going to tell you.
That's another
put
thing.
These guys on my bad side. You know?
Yeah, but another thing to consider is there's gang stalking, and also there's implementation, and Sony filed a patent for it and describes perfectly. It's transmitted sensory perception technology. They can transmit fraudulent audio, the whole taste, smell, sight, sound. You can be, and a lot of people, you experience. You can be sitting right here and you hear somebody say something on their side of the wall. Do not take it as absolute, because what it is audio projection. What you need to do to decipher through that is get an actual report and try to record it. If the recorder doesn't come back with anything, it didn't come back. It's because it's audio projection technology being used to contort and distort your perception of reality to manipulate, control you. To see, see how they can isolate you.
I was just trying to track people coming in my apartment.
Yeah, and it didn't record. You heard it, but it didn't record you.
Well, it didn't. No, it didn't. I could see things being moved around in my apartment, but I didn't hear any doors or anything. Excuse me, but is it possible that they're waking you up halfway in the night and making you move yourself, and then like sleepwalking? Like that.
No, but I'll leave and I'll come back and I'll leave and I'll come back and then I'll get to them. It's the way they do it.
You know what they do?
The best thing to do is turn your circuit breaker off and place voice activated recorder.
Because I had a voice activated.
But you got to turn your circuit breaker off.
Yeah.
Because
I was wondering why it wouldn't record it.
Yeah, and a lot of times, like I said, audio projection technology is absolutely a technology, and it's a psychotronic technology. And it's being used, and it'll make you think. It'll make you think that there's so much more encompassing than it is. Gang stalking actually takes place, but you'll go to a grocery store and you hit people on the next aisle over and say, "What the fuck?" You'll be sitting. You'll be sitting in line. You hear somebody behind you say something like, "Oh my God, this is just." And then these people aren't saying anything, and there's nobody there. It's actually freaking audio projection technology. Look up audio spotlight. Audio spotlight.
Is that like the low frequency sound wave?
It's an ultrasound beam. It's ultrasound. The technology was first used in the first Gulf War, and in 1991, they used audio projection technology combined with psychotronic technology to transmit a state of fear and terror into the minds of the Iraqi troops. So they transmitted a state of fear and terror into the minds of the Iraqi troops, and then they used audio projection technology with the sounds of helicopters and tanks, and that's why the troops were like, "Ah, they surrender!" They were scatterbrained. Because then that's exactly what they're trying to do to you. They want to get you scattered.
There's no material to block the waves.
I haven't found it. I'd like to go out in the desert and find a mine shaft and go deep and see if they're effective. You know what I mean?
You know what?
I got to go mine back in that B2K, so just ignore it, but other than that, there's nothing to kill yourself.
I am
Ask
not
what you want,
B2K.
and I'll use the list.
I heard you go underwater 500
But
feet.
a friend of mine, said that he was having some B2K, and he has a degree in electronic engineering, and he had oscilloscopes and all that stuff, and he was freaking tapping into it, and he said that I noticed the electrolyte thing, and he said I found the resonant frequencies for sodium, he said potassium, calcium, you know, and he said as soon as I started getting close to it, because they quit transmitting, they shut off. So he had like 7 years of transmitting. He said once you got too close, they quit transmitting.
So the oscillators, I heard you can pick up the.
Well, as far as like the resonant, they pick up the resonance of like fans and stuff like that.
You can hear that from the.
That's just resonance. You know what I mean?
Well, I can hear much more of the fans on.
My B2Ks, I just ignore it because it's basically you gotta look at it like logically, and it doesn't bother me. B2K. In the beginning, you think you're mad. You sit there, you know what I mean? You try to reason with them, you can't reason with them. And the more, and they'll sit there and say, "We're trying to help." They'll go, "Good cap," and they'll feed you anything. And as soon as they feed you something, they'll also transmit an emotional state of mind combined with that time to see what your response is. And the more, and that'll compile a database. The system will compile that database. So the more you feed it, the more it knows how to freaking control you. Yeah, you just ignore it.
It's been since 2006.
Yeah, mine's been since 2003. Okay. Yeah, I totally just I don't give it. I care less. Automated, you can tell it's automated because a lot of times it's repetition. Actual people can log onto it. I have noticed you can tell when it's actual people. Either way, there's no sense in even trying to reason with them, talk to them, feed anything. Right. Don't give it any kind of response. Just ignore it. It's like I said, it's like a parrot on your shoulder with threats, and it's sense to see you try to reason with it.
And that's what I've done the last 2 years.
Yeah, you can't. And it's way better. You can.
Yeah, it's way better.
Yeah, you just function. You function. Yeah. Yeah.
Does anyone have any more questions? What's your name?
Mark.
For Mark?
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Okay. Did you have any specific other things?
No, I'm sitting on this. We had a question.
Great. Thank you. You're really knowledgeable. Awesome. Thank you, Mark. Does anyone else?
What are you going back?
East or wherever you want.
Idaho? Yeah. Oh, my dad had a stroke like 3 weeks ago, so I'm gonna be here for a couple months. I don't really care for California. I moved to Idaho because game stalking is a lot worse down here. And that's another thing. Different states have different policies as far as Homeland Security goes. Like when I moved to Idaho, and I actually had someone I know that's part of the Homeland Security. I mean, what the hell? This is bullshit. I don't need this shit down here. He's he goes, you know what? He goes, we do shit different down here in Southern California than Idaho. And I go, well, I'm going back to Idaho. Yeah, I mean, but I can't because my dad he had a stroke. He didn't remember his own name today. So yeah.
Now, how they treat you in Idaho?
Idaho's way better. I don't know if you know anybody's familiar with Robert Duncan. He wrote a book on it. They just did an interview with Jesse Ventura, conspiracy theory on the technology stuff. And he went to Harvard. He used to work for the Navy and in technology similar. And it's way better. I hang out with him all the time. We get along real well.
Oh, he's out there.
No, he's in Idaho.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's way better.
I thought he lives in Mexico.
No. Like Robert Duncan.
Oh, okay.
Went and did an interview with Jesse. Yeah.
Mark, what's your last name?
Amos.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll give it here.
Dark gives me. Is it 5562? Is that the bottom? That's your number?
Yeah, that's it. Okay. Email. Call